Hi, this is Dave Williams, and you're watching Rib Tips. Now today, I'll be preparing a pulled pork, and you're going to have to get yourself a Boston butt. It's going to be about 6 pounds when you order it from your butcher. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a brine. So you might want to get yourself a pretty big container to fit your pork shoulder and your brine. So, just a few ingredients for the brine. You're going to need about 12 ounces of salt, which is about a cup. Just pour it inside. Next thing you're going to need is 3/4 of a cup of molasses, or 8 ounces fluid. I like these things because it comes out nice and clean. Whoa! Let's get a little spatula. Get all the goodness out. And you want 2 quarts of water. Pour it all in. Mmm. Smells salty good. So what's going to happen is all the salt that we're adding to this liquid, it's going to penetrate that pork, and it's going to give it a lot of good seasoning. Pork. So I went to my local butcher and asked him if he could order me pork shoulders, because it's stuff that's normally not stocked on the shelves. So he says, yes, just give me some time to order it, give me some heads up. So I ordered it, I got myself 6 pounds. Actually, I got 2 of them, so I'm doing that later. So we're gonna open it up and check out this hunk of meat. And you typically wanna ask for it with bone in, because the bone will have, give it more flavor. Little piece of fat in there. So it looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put him in the vessel. You want to make sure that the brine covers all of the pork so that it can penetrate as much as possible. And you don't want any tips sticking out of it. So now all we have to do is put a lid on it and throw it in the fridge. We have a floater. So what we're going to do is fill up a zip top bag. Zip top, that's what it says, kids. Fill up with some water, seal the top, and we're going to put it on top of the pork butt. What it's going to do is it's going to help push it down and raise up the volume of the liquid without diluting it. So, put the lid on top. Nice seal. Reminds me of a joke called Tell Later. So let's put this in the fridge. And it needs to sit between 8 to 12 hours. And so it's currently 7:30. And that should be good enough time, because I'm waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to put that bad boy in my smoker. And it should take 12 to 14 hours to smoke it, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so the pork butt's still in the brine. It's about 9 o'clock at night, and I'm going to get my rub ready, because as soon as I wake up in the morning, I'm going to start the fire, pull the pork butt out of the fridge, dry it off, and then put the rub on. And I don't want to be making the rub first thing in the morning and waking up my wife. So, got myself a coffee grinder. Got all my ingredients out, okay? So we're going to start off with some onion powder, just a tablespoon. We're going to dump that inside the coffee grinder. We're going to get some paprika, a tablespoon of that as well. Put that in there is also a little chili powder, a tablespoon of that as well. And if all possible, you should try to get yourself whole seeds of fennel. Put that inside there as well. Coriander. That was a teaspoon, by the way. A teaspoon of this as well, the coriander. And a teaspoon of the cumin. I love cumin. I love putting it in my chilies. So, put it on, and we're going to, mix it up. Oh, yeah. And what's nice about the whole spices is that they're kind of dormant, but then once you start grinding them up, it perks them up. They're fully alive. And the same thing with like black pepper. Try to get the whole guys first. That way it'll taste a lot better. A lot more energy. Looks perfect. Okay, see you in the morning.
My favorite wood I like to use when smoking meat is oak. The easiest way to light the oak is to stack all the small pieces up in a teepee formation using what we call kindling. And I like to use a propane torch to light the wood because it gets really hot, and since the oak wood is so hard, it needs a lot of heat in order to get started. So I do that and light it up, and it starts pretty good. And I keep on adding little pieces of wood on it until it gets big and strong. Look at it go. So now we're going to pull the pork butt out of the brine and put in this nice recyclable aluminum pan. Once it's in there, you want to grab a couple of paper towels and pat that butt dry. Get your hands all over that butt. Nobody likes a wet butt.
Now here's the rub I made last night in the coffee cart. So let's put it on. Once again, we're going to be generous.
So now I'm rubbing that butt faster than anybody could possibly think. I just love rubbing my fingers all over butts. Who doesn't? It's a butt! Once the pork butts go in the smoker, I want to be checking up on the smoker's temperature, I don't know, every 15-20 minutes to start, and just keep an eye on it. Now, right now I'm putting bacon on them because there's not much fat on the pork butts, and this will kind of keep it juicy. And 225 is the magic number. You don't want to go any higher, you don't want to go any lower. We're talking low and slow. And I'm putting more bacon on, replacing the fat to make sure it stays juicy. Now I'm putting aluminum foil on top of them so that it'll help steam the rest of the pork butt. Not much more smoke's going to penetrate that meat. So this is what they're looking like at 4:30, and I have guests coming over. So let's fork it, and it's pulling apart really nice. Now, I know it looks black. It's not burnt. It's just the heavy-duty amounts of smoke. Oh, look how that pulls out. Well, not many people know, but pulling out doesn't always work. So, yeah, they look great. Now, the easiest way to pull the pork apart is, first of all, pull the shoulder blade out. It should come out really easy. And use a couple forks. Look how easy it comes apart. Man, looks like it's hardly any effort at all.
Okay, so now that we got the pulled pork pulled, we're going to plate it. Get yourself a hamburger bun, put it on the plate. So one nice thing about plating, you can put things on plates. So let's put the pulled pork on top. It's a good generous portion. Now let's put the rest on. Okay, a little coleslaw. Put that on top. And a little barbecue sauce. It's one of my favorite ones, Kettleman Smokehouse. The Kettleman's Smokehouse, or actually all of Kettleman's barbecue sauces, have actually been in award-winning recipes, especially in Memphis and May. They've won 14 years in a row. It's pretty impressive. So, it's good stuff. What I said was good stuff. Okay. So we're going to put the bun on top, and you can yourself a pickle. Let's do the tongs. And the wife wants a little something different. Instead of watermelon, she's going to get herself some cherries. We'll put some cherries on the plate. I love all the summer fruits. They're awesome. And barbecued corn. I'm going to put that on top as well. So let's take a good look at this. Looks really delicious. Let's take a big bite. That one's pretty good too. Really smoky. It's a little salty from the brine. Really juicy. And the coleslaw is really nice and crisp, and the barbecue sauce adds a little zing to it. And since it's the smokehouse one, it's a little smoky as well, so it's a real treat. So, this is Dave Williams, and you've been watching Rib Tips. What does a walrus and a Tupperware have in common? Give up? They both enjoy a tight seal. Ha!